His house whose light such is vain. We, thy unworthy servants, here gathered together in thy name, do most humbly beseech thee, to send down thy heavenly wisdom from above, to direct and guide us in all our deliberations, and laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and national affections. The result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy name.
I'm very sorry for you.
Who gets? Good morning. Mr. Speaker, it's past 10. I therefore move that SO5 to be suspended for the business of the House to commence.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Record of votes and proceedings for Thursday, 7th March 2024.
Honorable members, record of votes and proceedings. Pages 1 to 4. Page 5. 6. 7. 8. Flags. I've warned you severally. When I sit here, I don't sit here as Deputy Speaker. I sit here as Acting Speaker. You address me as Deputy Speaker. You address me as Mr. Speaker. Because I sit here as Acting Speaker. So do the corrections now. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Can the member please move?
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any second that?
I so second,
Mr. Speaker, the motion is wrong.
Move by.
Point of order, the motion is wrong. Move with amendment. Just move with amendment.
Yes, certainly.
Move with amendment. Thanks.
Certainly. Any second that?
No, the substance, the mover should come again.
Yeah, who is the mover?
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
With amendment.
Amendment.
Any second that?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me repeat this for the attention of the class. When I sit here, I don't sit as Deputy Speaker. I sit as Mr. Speaker. If you want to call me Deputy Speaker, wait until I'm seated there. Then I'm Deputy Speaker. Maybe you want to refer to the standing orders 10-2. That's why I sit up here.
Mr. Speaker, you get
You are correct.
Thank you very much. Proceed.
Record of votes and proceedings for Thursday, 7th March 2024 has been adopted as amended. Announcement by Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Laying of papers, the Minister of Defense.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I beg to lay on the table of this honorable House the following papers. Military Framework Agreement between the Government of the Republic of Sierra Leone and the Government of the Republic of Turkey. 2. A Military Cooperation Protocol between the Ministry of Defense of the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Announcements. Yes, Honorable Leone.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I stand on SO23 for bring to the notice of this House that there are two small scale mining companies in my chiefdom that are operating. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we all can agree that we've enacted the Mines and Minerals Development Act here in the South. With your leave, Mr. Speaker, I will take you to section part 7, section 33, 6B. With your leave, I read: not create unprotected pits, hazardous wastes, dumps, or hazard that is likely to endanger the stock, crops, or lawful activities of the community. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, there is a company called FS Mining. It has been in operation, I think, for a year now. I have tried to locate their office. I cannot find anyone in this city. They have up to 8 40-feet trailers that are plying that route. And according to the environmental health impact assessment, they are supposed to do what we call dust suppression as per one of the mitigation hazardous effects. But that is not happening. And as per this act, they are in contravention of this particular section I have just read, Mr. Speaker. We have tried all means and ways to see reason how they can serve that, but it has not happened. And there's another one called Shonda Hall. This mining company again, recently, 2 of their trailers blocked the main road leading to that place. And the diversion they made was very dangerous. There's a valley around there. Even the bikes flying that route, we are having dangers to move along that line. Mr. Speaker, like I said, I have exhausted all possible avenues. I have engaged chairman on mines on this. I have engaged enemy on this. Nobody is willing or ready to serve the situation. So I'm bringing it to the attention of this House, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we put a stop to this. Before this time, one of their dams was again hazardous to the community. What they did, they went and reported the matter to the Moyamba. The NEC ordered the entire village. They arrested them. They brought them to Moyamba. They were locked up in a cell in their own land. I have to intervene again, Mr. Speaker. Currently, as I speak, their military personnel, they are now guiding that facility. I don't know where they are coming from. And thank God, the military leadership, they are here. And this is very serious, Mr. Speaker.
Minister of Defense, please come
In the event,
listen to this.
I am bringing this to your attention so that we can take appropriate measure moving forward. And I want the media to carry this clear as I'm reporting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Who is in charge of the environment? Who is the chairman for the Committee on Environment?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I want to observe. He has just levied an accusation against the chairman of the Mines Committee that he has made a complaint. I don't know whether formally or informally. That's a very big accusation because he's coming from that area, that is his locality, and he's a city member of parliament and bringing complaint to the floor of the house, especially to the chairman. and the chairman ignoring that complaint. It's a huge something that you have to look into. Secondly, the gravity of the situation he has alleged, SO23 is not appropriate. It's really not appropriate because this is a serious situation. So for me, I beg my colleague to do the needful so that appropriate actions can be taken. You can make your ruling, but the force of the proceeding must be accepted by you, telling him to do the needful. Because he said he brought the issue to the attention of the chairman. Yeah, I refer to it as an allegation. Perhaps formally he has to clarify, though it's a personal explanation. That one can be from your own advice, whether you want to ask him or not. But this personal explanation. But I'm so concerned because if the chairman refused to adhere to what you have explained to me, and he has the opportunity to come to the supervisory committee to complain, there are structures within the parliament. The chairman is not the be at the end of. So you have to come to me. If I don't give you attention, you go to the speaker or speaker. So as he exhausted the structures within parliament, and forget about them, these are the executive. We are so strong in our oversight. We are enormous powers. We don't pay attention. There are other plans that you can bring on board so that we can give you attention. And he's representing people from that locality. So I beg you, Mr. Chairman, let him do the needful. And if that is the case, that the chairman did not listen to him, as a member of parliament, action must be taken from this supervisory committee. Thank you.
Do a formal complaint. I will do a formal complaint on behalf of your people to the joint committee of the mines and environment committees. Mines and environment committees. Do a formal complaint to them, and I will urge the chairman for mines and the chairman for environment to summon that company or do an investigation and report to Parliament accordingly.
So, Mr. Speaker,
Hold on,
evidence.
Hold on, sir. I still need one point of clarification because he has called in members of the Fourth Estate to carry the information far and wide.
No, not yet, not yet.
No, I saw it. It's now open. They're on TV. So I want to know, they will complain us me formally or informally. Informally, let him tender in the formal procedure he used to bring the complaint to the chairman.
I think that was one
the chairman and the environment, both of them are not around.
Yes.
So I'm not coming in defense.
So how did you complain? Like
Certainly, Mr. Chairman, I think I have to explain that very, very well. Like I approached you this morning, as a colleague, I've engaged the chairman informally, and now he asked me to send him a text message outlining the details of this matter and mentioning the names of this company. Okay, I have done that, and I've shown you the evidence.
Make it formal.
So now, Mr. Speaker, this is an health issue, and in the interim, this one we are looking at a long-term measure, but in the interim, and it's happening on a daily basis, and by the legal instrument that we provide as a company, dust suppression is one of the mitigating strategies for that particular hazard. So if it's not happening,
Honorable Selu, we totally agree with you. What we are saying, just make it formal.
Yeah, I'm making it formal. But my question is, what happens within the short time?
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Point of order.
Hold on. Yes.
We have not asked for theory. We are giving you the SO23 he has explained.
Yes.
As I said, that's why we are calling men and women to make sure that properties are being done. Saying, I'm not coming in defense of the chairman, not both of them, I'm not coming in defense. I'm coming in defense of the parliamentary protocols. You have said, let the message be carried far and wide. No problem. This is a grave accusation against the chairman. That is one. So if you have not done it formally, I also asked my colleagues that he did not make the complaint formally, and that he will now do it formally. So I will not tell him to withdraw. I don't want to use that word, but let him paraphrase what he said earlier, so that these guys viewing us, the public can know that our colleagues are not here. We are not just giving them unnecessary blames. That he has brought in an explanation on behalf of his people, which 100% you are correct. I said let him use the appropriate channel to address the issues which he have accepted. But let him come again to tell us that he did not do the complaint formally. Now, Mr. Speaker, he will do the complaint formally to get there. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, like the leader said, I will read formally, but for me as a colleague, this is not something that we should be always doing in written. I can take a message to a colleague. I'll do it formally. Mr. Speaker, I will do it formally. Then to the military. To the military, sir.
Okay,
The point of the military.
No, not the military.
No, this one I will do formally. Noted. I will carry as
chairman.
As directed by the not the chairman, the chairman mind, not the chairman.
No.
Chairman mind. I have not reported this matter to environment.
I am now forming a joint committee of the environment and mines committees. So do a letter to both of them.
And I will do, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
please do.
But I did not, let me clarify that. I only measured the chairman health.
Okay, it's all right.
Not environment.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah. So to the other point, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, I am separate about this thing. All about the military personnel that are on ground.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Point of order, Chairman.
Yes.
I borrowed from your ruling.
Yes.
The ruling is final in the chamber.
Yes.
I said both the committee,
Environment.
Yeah, that's one. But apart from that, from your ruling, he cited about environmental issues. And he quoted an act of parliament. You understand, sir? So by law, they are implicated. Not only that he did not do the complaint formally.
Of course.
You understand? By law, what he explained, they are implicated. That is allegations. Now, you want to refer to it, they are not here for that. This is purely personal explanation under SO 23. If you have moved the appropriate motion, you should ask them to sit or to take the chair. You understand? And I want to beg my colleague, with all due respect, sir, to create a situation.
It's all right.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yes, it's all right. Yeah, Mr. Speaker. It was I who called them to hear this because most of the time, the military is being used by individuals. So that they will hear this and see what appropriate action to take. Okay, it's all right. Honorable Selu, this is a very simple matter. We have dealt with this. Go.
Very serious, very serious, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, go now do the needful, please. Mr. Speaker. Simple in the sense your explanation to this house. It's a very simple thing. Just explain and you have the relevant instructions.
Mr. Speaker, because I cannot manage it.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
And yes.
I believe as leaders, one of our primary responsibilities is to ensure that we guide our MPs as to what the process and procedures are. From the exchanges, I have come to realize that the honorable member engaged, according to him, the chairman, and he did not engage his leader. And whatsoever step he is to take should have been determined by the leader. I am of the firmest conviction that this issue is so important that you should have brought it to the attention of the leader.
You see, we have gradation. We have gradation in parliament.
Exactly.
If you inform the chairman and nothing is done, escalate it to your leader of government business. If nothing is done, escalate it to the deputy speaker and then to the speaker. You heard the leader clearly. We don't have any reason, going back and forth on this particular issue. We are done with this, like the leader suggested, like I have instructed, do the needful, do your formal complaint, and we take it from there. Please, I know you are passionate about this whole thing, but do the needful. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
I rise on SO 23.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday I was around Pagan Street, going towards the Mambila area. And in my presence, 7 young people within the age of 19 to 21 were taken out of the market as cops as a result of the dangerous KUSH. And as I speak, there are more that are struggling down those communities as a result of KUSH. And yesterday I learned that it's not just KUSH now, it is called Jagabam KUSH. This shows how dangerous this is. Mr. Speaker, I have said many times in this world that when you compare the destruction of KUSH in our country with young people, I am with a firm conviction that the number of young people we've lost as a result of this drug is so serious that as a house, as a human rights committee chairman, I think we met with the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. When you look at the agency, you look at the laws, you look at the monies allocated to them, and you look at the current pandemic, you understand.
Yeah, Mr. Minister, okay.
We are in a serious situation, and I therefore call on this house to do the needful. I think we should move away from the lip service and taking concrete action to save the life of our young people in this country. The situation is terrible.
The Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Authorize donation to the three, and subsequently arise on the relevant issues. Couple of days ago, few men came to my house, young men, and asked that I support them to bury their friend. These are young men that
Honorable, you are not speaking from your seat, no so?
My mic is not working.
Oh, it's not working. That's why you seek the leave of Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, may I use this mic, sir?
It's all right. Proceed.
Sorry about it.
These little things are very important. So that you train yourself in parliamentary procedure. Even these young ones that have come, they want to learn from us. Also, you don't speak out of your seat. You seek the leave of Mr. Speaker to do so. Proceed.
So, as I was explaining about the interface I had with the young people, yes, we laid that young man to rest. A couple of days ago, I also saw a video making rounds on social media in which people were shaving supposedly young boys that are KUSH addicts. They were shaving their heads.
Shaving them for what?
Shaving their heads.
For what? Were they arrested?
No.
Cleaning
them up. I'm glad a lot of MPs saw that video. Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, we all note that the KUSH epidemic is alarming, and our society is under attack. Personal interest by Sierra Leoneans may undermine the effort of government in this fight. Relevant authorities that should be making the moves and the steps in the right direction to curb this menace do not have the support. So I think it's important and imperative for this House to take the relevant step and to take the fight against KUSH. In that regard, Mr. Speaker, I want to move on motion, if I'm doing the right thing, but I want to stand on SO 19 again, which means we should be calling the relevant authorities, the National Drug Enforcement Authority, or even the Ministry of Social Welfare, because, citizens might want to be proactive and want to take steps and measures, but is it under, as the chairman of the Human Rights Committee, who doubles as LIP stated, is it under their integrity or under their prerogative to clean or shave those people on the street? The Ministry of Social Welfare should come in. We have a facility right now at Kerry Town that they use for Ebola. My question to this House is, what is being done with that facility? A lot of people are taking it into their hands to rehabilitate people that are under KUSH. Can government do the needful? Can the Ministry of Social Welfare do the needful? Even the Ministry of Health, because it's a health issue. So as we continue to grapple or continue to arrange the calendar of this House in inviting ministers to answer to questions to this House, I want this to be put on that calendar to invite the National Drug Enforcement Agency, the Ministry of Social Welfare, and the Ministry of Health to come and answer, or even find a way to forge a way ahead on how we can fight this menace with Parliament support and with their proactiveness. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I want to move on that motion or to put a notice to this House that we should be inviting those relevant authorities.
Well, let me advise you on this. What I will advise at this point is for you to do your relevant questions to the Minister of Social Welfare, because I think we have a set day, not so? We have a set day at the end of this month.
The last
question time, not so?
Last
Yes, do your question to the Minister of Social Welfare and the other ministers.
The Social Welfare, Health, the National Drug.
No, the National Drug.
You don't want them in?
Okay. For that, you can do a formal letter to the relevant committee. Yes, for that Department of State to be invited for questioning by the committee. Okay. But for the ministers, I advise that you do your relevant questions to them set for that particular day.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, just a basic concern.
Yes.
In as much as we want to use the question time for ministers, Mr. Speaker, please consider this matter to be a very serious matter.
It's extremely serious.
Lives are being lost, in which you can use your power to ensure we start doing something now. Mr. Speaker, I am still emphasizing that the lives we've lost under KUSH, and the interesting thing is, KUSH is present in almost every village in Sierra Leone, and we are losing young people. The faster we go, if we have to wait until next month to have a minister to come, there is once at the last Friday of every month, and there are questions already that are on the line, meaning we have to address these questions for this month, and we have to wait until April.
No. Parliament works through committees. Parliament works effectively through committees. Can we bring those to the notice of committees? I think that's the best way. All the relevant committees, the Committee of Health, the Committee of Social Welfare, to be proactive.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Maybe just some information to members of Parliament. Yes, we all know that KUSH is an epidemic for now, yes. We've seen a lot of lives being lost. But the Ministry of Social Welfare has already taken a move. Just 2 weeks ago, they launched a rehabilitation center for KUSH victims. And we have a lot of young boys and girls in that center. It's at Hastings, where the military does their training. Yes, that's the peacekeeping. Yes, that's the place. They launched the rehabilitation center. We were all here. International donors were there. The Ministry of Health, the Drug Agency, the Youth Ministry. They were all here, and each and everyone committed to the fight against this KUSH epidemic. So a move has already been done by the Ministry of Social Welfare, and we also have the EU ambassador, the UNDP. They all, made a commitment to support the fight against this epidemic. So already something has been done or started by the government through the Ministry of Social Welfare. So this is just an information. Yeah.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the fight against KUSH should not only be limited to those taking the push. The supporters of KUSH should also be chased in this nation, because they are making money out of something that is killing our children. A center should also be established for rehabilitation of those who import KUSH. Yes, the checkpoints. The other day I was traveling to Bo and I saw one commercial vehicle before me. The way that vehicle was overloaded, the way the luggage was packed, even if it was KUSH, the police will not have time to offload that vehicle to check the amount of KUSH that is carried on board those vehicles. Police don't have time for that. So honestly, it is not only chasing people who are smoking the kush. With the government and NDA's concern should chase importers from the international airport to all entries, boarding entries into this country. Because you see, the other day, I heard a man telling his wife, SO2, they see you picking, automatically it becomes the son or daughter of the wife. When he or she starts smoking kush or doing something stupid, the men always dissociate themselves from those children. So we should always also come together to chase people who are importing kush into this country. That's my thing. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Latif.
Yes, sir.
After Honorable Latif, Honorable Fofana, and we close.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Because I'm the chairman for the Youth Affairs Committee in the House of Parliament. And indeed, the issue of KUSH is a terrible, terrible experience that our youth are having currently. Mr. Speaker, even the dead can no longer be in peace in their graves. Their bones are wanted just like how people are looking for diamonds. And that's why I want, Mr. Speaker, to use your good office to ensure that our major cemeteries are secure. If not, people will go to their loved ones and you will not meet nothing there anymore. And Mr. Speaker, it is not just about identifying the KUSH victims. I believe rehabilitation centers, even the hospitals, let it be a regional fight or district fight, because we cannot centralize it in Freetown alone. We have KUSH, people that are taking KUSH in. We have them in Kotoko. We have them in Kenema. I mean, yes, we can withdraw the KUSH from the market, but what about their health? How are we going to ensure that they regain their health? So it is a very important issue that I believe us as parliamentarians should involve in, because the central government, I don't know whether, they are incapacitated, I don't know, but as it is, it seems as if we are not focusing on this menace that is affecting our society. But as parliamentarians, we are representatives of the people. The youthful population is one that carries the highest percentage in terms of the population of this country. And if we allow that population to go down the drain, it is going to be very detrimental for the future of this country. Mr. Speaker, even the youth, the KUSH victims, they can no longer yearn for women. They don't have feeling for women anymore, Mr. Speaker. And it is dangerous for us. It is dangerous. Because I've been looking at the male population in our country. It is, you cannot compare it to the female population. And if we are now having our young people dying, and those that are alive, most of them are also not interested in women's business, then it is a problem.
What is your worry?
We don't want a situation where you will have one man going for 10 women.
Okay, the few of you are serious pressure also. Yes, Honorable Governor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the issue of KUSH should not be underrated. Recently, I received few calls from two villages in my area, and from Gambia. The parents, some of them don't even know what is KUSH, but because of the condition their children are, they are worried. And as we know, as members of parliament, every little thing they call on you. Every little thing they call on you. Last weekend I was in Gambia. I have to go to those places, Mr. Speaker. But by the time I get there, unfortunately, those sick two gentlemen, they thought we are sick. They were actually suffering from KUSH. And unfortunately, they were buried. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, yesterday, as part of the youth committee. We have the National Youth Commission yesterday about a facility. I think it's not the Obasanjo facility. To join my colleagues that I'm joining my colleagues. Let us look for other mentors to employ in order to tackle this. Taking the affected people to rehabilitation center is not only the solution, Speaker, one of the members. What about stopping the importation of KUSH into this country? KUSH is not manufactured in Sierra Leone. KUSH is not produced here. It is coming inside here. Where is it coming from? Where is the point of entry? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we are here representing the entire country. All of us, we are coming from different districts. And KUSH is affecting all the districts in this country. So let us come together as honorable members of parliament. Let us make this our issue. Let us embrace it. Let us fight against it like it's affecting us. Let us fight against it like our sons, our brothers, our sisters have been affected. Let us not turn a blind eye on it because your son is not affected or your brother is not affected. One way or the other, the community member is being affected. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I want to join my colleagues, let us look for a solution that we can do to remedy the situation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, this thing is extremely serious. It's extremely serious. I think it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic. And this thing, the way this thing is going, even our children are not safe. Because I've come to realize, some people are even saying that some of these boys are giving this substance without even their knowledge. They put it in something or some kind of food and so on, you eat it and you are drunk the whole day. So even our children in schools are not safe. This is very serious. I think I join other members of parliament to treat this particular thing as a pandemic, and let's urge the government to ensure that all necessary modalities are put in place to address this particular malaise. Well, let me hear from the leaders. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have said in this many times that this is a different job. Mr. Speaker, I want to move the motion that we summon the key SL, is it Sierra Leone Port and Harbour, top management, officers. We also summon NRA because when these containers come at the key, they are open. How do they sneak with this cushion to the community? They should come and explain to us. The police should also come and explain to us. They should come, the IG and the top management of the police should come and explain to us how this KUSH is being utilized by the community. Because all over this place, there are KUSH, if you go to the database, there are KUSH centers, small,
It is so open now.
Yes, it's open all over. And you see the police officers sometimes seated in this area, smoking with this people. So, Mr. Speaker, we have said it times without number this well, severally. Now we should summon them. They should come explain to us. They are representatives of the people. Let them come. The Pops, NRA, the NRA, yes, customs is on the NRA. The police and National Drug Law Enforcement, all of them should come here and explain to us where the challenges are. Because those that are taking it now, fine. But there is a tendency that even those in primary schools will be joining. And the future is bleak.
Of course. I saw a video one day where these little children.
Little girls. Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to move a motion that the clerk's office summon these entities, these institutions, and they come and explain to us, at least in committee room 1.
Yes.
So we can pose questions.
Yes. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Yes, Honorable Veronica.
Thank you very much. I believe all of us.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just hear from her. What do you want to say? There is already a motion. No, we have not asked for a seconder. I thought you.
I will second, then I will.
Okay, that's all. Honorable Leader. Leader of government business. You've heard your deputy. What do you have to say to that? Please, 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, yes, we need to understand how they produce. We don't understand. That is what we are talking about borders. It's not our border.
Yeah, it's not about border.
It's the produce
Different things.
It's a component of different substances you put together that gives you what we call. I think it's a mic. It's a different component you put together with the addition of chemicals. Call it. We have the reactants. If you are putting the bones of the dead together with other components, these are what the components are. And what stimulates it to fast reaction to get the products, what we call KUSH, are different, coming from different components. So it's difficult even you are working, if you have a highly sophisticated detector machine, you cannot be telling anything like KUSH. Whereas the borders at the airport, you can't. It's produced within Sierra Leone. As a product we take in. The reason why I sat down the listing quietly, how do you get those who are producing it? All of what you are talking about, we talk about the victims. And I agree with my colleague. I saw the clip. I have two mixed feelings about the clips. It is talking about sanitary aspect of it because they are, sorry for the language, they are filthy. I look at the human rights aspect of it. So I had mixed feeling when I was looking at the video. So I saw the guys saying, SO2, we are not clean them, baba. The other one was saying, it gets so food. So I felt sorry for the victims. I also appreciate what they were doing because I know what they are parents. I know how when you take KUSH, how do you look like? You be like a crazy monkey around. Automatically in the next 5-10 minutes. So the questions I pose to my colleagues in the house, even if you call the minister or the this, they are going to explain theory. It's theory they are going to explain. And the theory is like they are producing it here. Let them go after. It will be difficult to do to get those who are producing this. Let us now go after those who are marketing it. The retailers should go after. Government is trying very hard to take care of the victims. Initially, they started arresting the victims. So when we push here in the debate, we requested that no, they should not be incarcerated. They should be taken to rehab centers. That is what they are doing now. For me, this week I organized a gala. We just played final, talking about this KUSH, bill awareness program. I have contributed to organization fighting against KUSH. We are still on it. As somebody said, my colleague on the other side, it's not one man business. We all have to come on board. This issue of complaining to the chamber, even if we make laws, the enforcement is the problem, Mr. Speaker. The legislations are there. Who told you? We have it. The enforcement is our problem. So, as my deputy leader said, let us call them and see how best we can trigger the enforcement by going after them, and also agree that we should go after the retailers when they are, because we know the retailers, they are around. Arrest them, prosecute them speedily, and take serious actions against them. But let me tell you, today we are shouting. We are requesting the government to take difficult stance and hard decisions, to make hard decisions rather, against those who are the retailers and those who have peddling this KUSH around. But do you know that politics will set in one day? talking about human rights abuses, politics will set in. So I'm very that's why I said it has to be because for us it has reached a point in fact where we should be thinking about like we did for the sexual violence against women when government instituted the state of emergency. But that also we had a ramification behind. People thought we are going to misuse it for other things, public health emergency. So I believe we should be calling in that direction as legislators, calling for the government to talk about a public health emergency, especially talking about KUSH with the regulations coming to us, so we can see something's done. When we took decisions, when the president made pronouncement about the sexual violence before we enacted the laws, so they look at what is happening immediately, because aggravated sexual harassment will result to what we call life imprisonment. So in the same vein, Mr. Speaker, we should now graduate from making talk shop and asking questions to now use the sexual violence issues that we did in this house, call on the government that we should now talk about the public health emergency, because the way our youth are going, they are going in the direction that we want. So both sides of the house, we call on God, make it loud and clear. And we now have the authority to cannot say, arrest on sight if I see you selling KUSH. But at the situation we are, I can feel the empathy and the way the youth are going. What is really happening to the future of this country? But if you take action now, as I said, the activists will come to talk about human rights. But when you trigger a state of emergency, the public health emergency, you will now see that people have the right to either arrest you on sight, because the regulations are coming that arrest them, prosecute them, speedy trial, jail them, sentence them. So we agree on sentencing. So, Mr. Speaker, I join my colleagues to say I perfectly agree that we do engagement, but I want us to move beyond engagement and call on government. I cannot be the referee. I cannot be the referee and the player at the same time. I have triggered it that government should now thinking about public health emergency in line with this KUSH. It's a bipartisan approach I want us to use. So in the next sitting, we should come out clearly from my colleagues on the other side. Call on government. Use the powers. You know, by the constitution, government can make pronouncements. So they can hear us loud and clear. So we are now triggering that. We are urging the government that he needs to do something. The government needs to do something so that this business of KUSH is a way, as he said, is a menace towards the society. And finally, before I take my seat, Mr. Speaker, the issue, not only KUSH, let me tell you, we moved from Tramadol to KUSH. There's another one. Which other one? You have just said about Jagaban KUSH. Let me tell you. So we have to take actions. We have to be proactive and futuristic. Yeah. If you take KUSH, if you let me KUSH, they will come out around. These things are just nomenclatures, but they are playing around it. The only good aspect about some of these things that we are doing is to make sure that we strengthen our laws. So that's the only good part of it. And with the backing of that, we enforced the laws. So in enforcing the laws, so that you don't need to have they will come out around nomenclature. They have started calling it Jagaban KUSH. That is the climax now. That is the mixture. Their mixtures have gone too far. But my point here is that we should not continue to stigmatize the victims. The stories is so pathetic. So we should encourage people how do we rehabilitate them and call for the nation to pay attention to the fight against any drug abuse, not only KUSH. Because we are now calling KUSH, they are hearing us, they are going out tomorrow. After 3 days, the peddlers are now going to use another name. So let us talk about harmful substance abuse, the intake of harmful substance abuse. So we are in line for that, and we fully support the government. I know it's a bipartisan approach. I know my colleagues, by next week we come, we'll have a full debate on that. And with full discussions, I will move the necessary motions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So you want this motion to be put on hold for now?
Yeah, it's a notice. He said it's just a notice. I want us to have some approach, a bipartisan approach. Then we come chasing out. Somebody said, we know what you are going through. But let me tell you, the public, I always say this one. I've said it time without number. Now, for the public, the public don't like parliament, no matter what you do. That's all over the world. So we have to be careful in dealing with it. So the approach I want us to take, we use the bipartisan approach. That is one. Secondly, we call on government to trigger a public health emergency on this. It's an appeal to them. So when we do that, that's a bipartisan approach, it will carry the steam. It's not just coming on one side. So he has sent a notice, and we now discuss the modalities in carrying it out. Perhaps we put it on other paper for debate. As somebody said, asking question is not really enough with the kind of danger this thing is posing around us. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
So let's wait after the debate, and then we'll find a way of bringing the Drug Law Enforcement Agency and
we can invite them when we agree on having
yes. To Parliament.
No, the questions and answers. Sorry, sir. Let me come to that.
Yes.
They're supposed to have one session tomorrow, but we don't want to do the oral and ask for the written questions and answers. We wanted to start with Waka Fine on tomorrow. Unfortunately, the ministers are not around. So we are exercising patience to have one before the substantive date we have slated for the question time. If they come around before the substantive date, we'll have one set before the final set. But I'm really assured, colleagues, that these things are very serious, and we have to discuss them using, as my colleague said from the other side, ESCO 19 Act Ministers Constitutions, so they can educate us. It's not any witch hunting, it's just the practice of a beautiful democracy. Thank you.
This is what I advise. Honorable members, this is what I advise. I advise that we invite the IG and the Drug Law Enforcement Agency to Committee Room 1, maybe on a day, let's say Tuesday next week, after sitting. Let them come and answer relevant questions from members of Parliament. That's how I look at it. But apart from that, honorable members, let me warn you, in as much as we are taking the lead in this fight, please, honorable members, let's be extremely careful. Because from what I've heard, people are saying that sometimes these drugs are administered even without your notice. Guard your drinks. Guard your food. Because as members of Parliament, of course, we are the most wanted. Somebody might want to make fun of you. Somebody might want to make fun of you unless your drinks or your food with this substance. Because they want to make fun of you. So please, guard your food, guard your drinks. It's extremely important. And what they have said is that the moment you taste of this drug, you become addicted. That's the most dangerous aspect of it. The moment you taste it, you become addicted. You will never rest without it. So please, I don't know, leaders, of course, you wanted to say something. I don't know if we can be agreeable on this. So just find a day, probably after sitting on a day, we invite these two agencies to come and answer questions so that after that, we can now have our debate. Because we will now be debating from an informed point of view. Because if we ask the relevant questions and they provide answers, then we know what we come here to debate about. We'll know all the loopholes, we'll know the challenges, we'll know the interventions, then we can come and properly debate. By pinch of salt. Just my pinch of salt. Yes, leader of the opposition.
Mr.
Mama of the
Speaker.
House, please, after him.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I want to join the leader of government business in expressing our total willingness to work together to ensure that we curb this menace. Of course, this is not the first time. Remember years back when Ebola struck, we did it collaboratively, and at the end of the day, there was a solution. When we had Corona, we attacked it collaboratively. There was a solution. And when we had the rape, we did it collaboratively. And to me, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it's clearly stated in the Constitution. Let me read subsection 2 of section 29. It says, the President may issue a proclamation of a state of public emergency only when F. There is any other public danger which clearly constitutes a threat to the existence of Sierra Leone. And to me, KUSH is a big threat to the existence of mere Sierra Leoneans. So it should be treated with priority. We on this side want to join members on the other side to ensure that we treat this with the utmost urgency it deserves. There is not a single member of parliament here who has not seen victims of KUSH because they are spread right across the country. In my community, young, useful boys, in fact, university graduates have been subjected to KUSH, and it's destroying their future. The Bible says when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So to us, it's better, and it's very, very much important that expeditiously we act, and if Parliament could even communicate with His Excellency the President, so that we do what we did for the other epidemic or pandemic we handled as a Parliament. So I want to join the leader of government business in expressing our total willingness in handling this very menace.
Thank you very much. I've been listening keenly to what my colleagues have been saying, and I agreed 100% to join to fight this common enemy. Like my colleague mentioned, the leader of opposition, that we fought against the Ebola, we succeeded. We fought together for this Corona, we succeeded. So this again is another dangerous pandemic that we need to fight together for this common enemy. Our children, we are losing potential members of parliament, potential presidents, potential ministers. If you see these young guys, those who are the media that I watched a few days ago, I nearly cried. Because if you see them, all their bodies sore. So we cannot only limit this to these environmental people who come here to come and talk to us or to ask questions. We have to break the chain. Like what we did for Ebola, we have to break the chain. We have to have holding centers in the various districts and also the communities, the villages. So if there is any Ebola victim, they'll bring you to the center. It's not only bringing you to the center, we try to engage the doctors so that they can find ways and means to induce or to remove some of these substances in their system. We have to talk to our donor partners like what they did for us during the Ebola and the Corona by sending us drugs to reduce some of these substances in their system. It's not only for KUSH, there are other things that they take. And also, let us don't forget this 50 or 90% of this alcohol that comes to this country. We have to watch out because sometimes you will see small bottle with how many percent of alcohol. After taking KUSH, they go back to go and take this alcohol. So all those things we need to take cognizance. We also need to look into that. And also to make sure we have, I'm going to emphasize, and I'm emphasizing it to my colleagues out there, because now I'm happy that we are all saying the same thing and want to make sure we eradicate this menace in our various constituencies, because they are our people, they voted for us, and we want to see them grow. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, since we are all together, we are all representing our various communities, let us work together as a team. Well, like for other areas, like my area, they started with this secret society. I told them that cannot help. You cannot fight Ebola, you cannot fight KUSH with secret society. Let us make sure we involve not only the police, but like when we started the Ebola fight, when they said they are going to engage the military, I started to say, how can they fight Tumbu? Because they were saying SO2. They were saying they are a victim that goes into your bodies. I said, how can soldiers come to fight? But when we saw the essence, the necessity of these forces, it went out cool and clear. So that is why we want to use them. And we, the honorable members, will go back to our various constituencies and help the local people. We have bylaws so that they can bring these victims. We don't have to harass, we don't have to say we jail them or to harass them. We remove them amongst the others. Now they are using substance like butterscotch. They are using butterscotch and other cakes so that they can involve these little children in the schools, in primary schools, and it's very dangerous. And you heard from Mr. Speaker that when you are addicted, it's very sweet for you. You can always go there to take. So therefore, I'm saying I'm very much happy that we are all in it together. Let us make sure we work together, and like what my leader has said, we engage the government so that they can help us fight this fight against this common enemy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mr. Kadisisi. Yes, Deputy Leader.
On the list, those invited to the can you please also involve a medical doctor who can come over to explain scientifically chemistry
Yes, please. I'm not getting you. Please put the mic on.
I just wanted you to add a medical doctor to the two people you invited, so that when it comes, they will, explain to us scientifically the chemistry of it, the human bones and everything, and the gravity or the consequences of it. Because I heard from the United States that even they are cutting down their legs, the limbs are being cut off because they behave like zombies, and that affects the legs and etc. So if a medical doctor can come over to seriously explain that to us, that would be better.
Okay, you can take note of that.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, my motion is we summon the leadership of Sierra Leone Port Authority, the leadership of NRA because they are covering our borders, the leadership of the Sierra Leone Police, and the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, and by extension, as has been said by the Honorable from Kailau, the CMO, Chief Medical Officer. I move that they come and appear before Parliament Committee 1 on Monday, the 18th of this month.
Any second that?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, please.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mute. It's on the. I agree with the Deputy Leader of Government Business. But my concern is, I Are we not putting the cards before the horse? I came late actually. But what I met here, I don't know I made it wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. That there's a move to convince government to declare a state of emergency. I don't know, I came late.
Well, we intend to have a debate on this particular matter, but we want to hear from the experts to inform our debate. After our debate, then we can go into the emergency and so on and so forth. But let's listen to the experts to inform our debate so that we know what the challenges are, what the interventions are, and all of those. So when we debate,
we can use those convincing points now.
Yes, we debate
to convince government to take action.
Yes, certainly.
All right.
Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye. Aye. But hold on, Honorable Deputy Leader, you have not stated the specific date. Can we say Monday?
I said Monday, 18th of March.
Time?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Where is the clerk?
Motion moved by the acting leader of government. Deputy leader.
Where is the clerk? The clerk of the acting clerk of parliament. Pardon me? Inform him to do those letters today, do those summons today to the relevant institutions. Monday without fail at 11 a.m. We should be meeting here. Thank you very much. Yes, announcements.
Honorable members and the general public are hereby informed that the pre-legislative hearing scheduled for Tuesday, 12th March 2024 on the bill entitled the State-Owned Enterprises Ownership and Governance Commission Act 2023 has been deferred until further notice. The parliamentary briefing by the Minister of Labour on the labour migration to Saudi Arabia and the Middle East has also been deferred to a date to be announced later. Sorry for any inconveniences this deferment may have caused. Honourable members of the Sierra Leone People's Party are kindly requested to stay in the chamber after adjournment for a brief meeting with the leadership of the Sierra Leone People's Party. DKT International, in collaboration with the Health Unit of Parliament, will be conducting an health awareness raising campaign for MPs and staff of Parliament at Committee Room 1 on Thursday, 14th March 2024 at 11 a.m. The following topics will be discussed. 1. Family planning. 2. HIV/AIDS, and 3. And other health issues. Free test kits and other medical items will be provided for everyone. You are kindly invited as your presence is highly solicited. Signed by Mr. Mada Rogers, CHO, Parliament Health Unit. Sierra Leone Female Parliamentary Caucus and Westminster Foundation for Democracy request the pleasure of all members of Parliament behind women's politics agenda in Parliament, commemorating International Women's Day 2024.
All right. This sitting is adjourned to Tuesday, 19th March 2024 at 10 a.m.